Hello, exiles. And what can you see here? The purpose was to have huge ignites with lightning damage converted to chaos damage and some portion of fire damage from burning arrow, and all this chaos damage can shock and can ignite, and all chaos conversion. I can't say this build is the disappointment because the damage can be really huge, and 14 million ignite DPS, not damage per ignite by DPS, is really great. But if we are not talking about two things, lightning damage has a really huge gap between the minimum damage and the maximum one, and it not always rolls even between that. So if we proc the our lower border of the lightning damage, we get really weak ignites. And the second problem is you need to stay at one place to channel or to insanely boost your attack speed, but you do not want to boost attack speed with the ignite build, so it's a bit clunky. Yeah, the ignite spreads with berek's respite are great, but this play style, I think it's not for me. But if you want to try it, I'll share the pops of this chieftain version and the elementalist version, which is, I think, more preferable in terms of damage and in terms of survivability. So yeah, as you can see, just good clear. But and here what we have for this kind of build, pretty straightforward topic. And I don't think that chieftain would be the best archetype for this build. But as I've had the leveled marauder, I decided to build it around the chieftain. I think elementalist is far much better in terms of damage and in terms of some kind of survivability. But I'll link this thing, and let's get back to the chieftain version. As intended, I wanted to get a pretty high one tap, one shot, all kinds, as you can say it, type of build, and using the new alchemist mark with some burning ground effects. We grab all life nodes and fire damage over time nodes on the tree, and also we get some megalomaniacs with Born of Chaos to get some maximum extra chaos resistance. That boosts our survivability very much with the Divine Flesh and the Incandescent Heart body armor, which gives us another 25% of elemental damage from hits taken as chaos. That's why we don't care about the penetration that enemies hit us, but also to boost our defenses furthermore. We can allocate the Eternal Damnation amulet, the new amulet, which will give us additional 40% elemental damage reduction, equal to half our chaos resistance. And in this case, I think we are fully protected from elemental and chaos damage because we have pretty high chaos resistance, and there are not so many sources of chaos resistance, chaos damage in the game. It's up to you. Just choose what you want. And what's the reason of taking Voltaxic Rift? I wanted to have all my lightning damage to inflict and shock and ignite. And that's why with Replica Volcar's Guidance, which says that our chaos damage can ignite and our chaos damage can shock, we get pretty amazing things with it. And with average high one-shot portion of our attack, we can shock till the maximum effect as we grab the effect of non-damaging elements throughout the tree. And also the Voltaxic Rift has the stat that we shock as dealing 300% more damage. We do not always proc Elemental Overload here, but if it's procced in 1 in 10 shots, we get another 40% elemental damage boost. And there is nothing more special here. This is the Chieftain Ascendancy path, but I don't think that the main reason is choosing the Chieftain, so look at the Elementalist more. And we also use Eldritch Battery to use Energy Shield as our main source of mana spending, and we can leave our reserved mana at 0 with Malevolence, Wrath, Vitality, and Precision for some accuracy in some region. How do we get our one-shots? With the Assailum, which grants us the snipe skill, and for those who are not old schools, it's a very old helmet since Delirium League, and it causes our skill that is put into the helmet. And here we have Vaal Burning Arrow, and we have a portion of this of fire damage in the skill too, so we have our Chaos, Lightning, and fire damage to having a chance to ignite. And we put here Swift Affliction, Burning Damage, Ally Damage with attacks, just to channel for maximum one-shots. And for mapping, we, as you've seen in the footage, we can use Snipe, just having a bit time of channeling. And also we can use our stacks of Vaal Burning Arrow, and it eliminates packs very fastly. Flammability on Alchemist Mark with Mark on Heat. We can also have flammability with Hex Touch with Wave of Conviction Combustion for some exposure and minus fire res, and Immortal as defensive layer, and we get our Enduring Charges from Immortal Call with the Enduring Cry. And I didn't simulate it here, so we just walk right and get fully full endurance charges and get in some region. The other gear is straightforward, just damage over time multiplier, some added lightning, chaos, or fire damage, accuracy, life, some stats to fit all our stat requirements. As I've said, the Eternal Donation as more defensive option. The Watcher's Eye with all the stats you need for Vitality or Malevolence, or what you've chosen. And yeah, the Glorious Vanity for Divine Flesh. Flasks for damage, and you can choose others. The belt, I think the best one is Dead and Dawn to inflict faster ignites, but if you want your ignites to last more time, for mapping, for example, you can switch it for any belt you want. That's all as far as I can see. Like, subscribe. If you have questions, don't forget to ask them in the commentary section, and see you in the next videos. Goodbye!